Hey guys, what's up? It's Schla. Welcome back to another episode of Car Rides with Schla. Today we're going to talk about I never have things pre-planned, so I don't I don't know where I was going with that. I don't know what you were expecting to hear. The test record actually didn't work this time. This is the first time I plugged the mic in and it didn't work. So it's a good thing I do that test record, or else I would have been in a very frustrating, stressful situation trying to finagle this mic, getting this mic situated while I'm driving. Would not have been very good, would it? I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to get gas today, so that was something I wasn't really aware of, but now that I'm in my car and looking at I try to keep the gas above 25%. I heard that somewhere. It's really not good to let it dip under that. Now, I guess I kind of wonder, it's possible I could wait until tomorrow, and that's probably also okay, but I don't really know. I guess I need to look into it further. It may be like 20%. But I try to, keep 25% as the minimum. I think that's better. I'm a little bit frustrated with how, again, I found out that my mic quality could be a lot better with this different filter I mentioned yesterday, the Bumblebee. And I really should have gotten that. I really should have already had it. It's just, I don't know. I guess I didn't really think of it for some reason. And now, again, I can't order it because they're closed until Wednesday. And that stuff always gets in my head. But either way, I guess it's still a process, this finding I believe next week's episodes will finally have like the best setup. Yeah, I think I will get gas, but I want to look into further that whole, like, what you should let the minimum gas amount fall to, because there's probably some debate on it, and there's an argument, at least this is just what I'm thinking in my head right now, that you might as well stretch it a little bit because you're reducing the amount of total stops that you have to make. So that's also putting less wear and tear on the car. So I'm gonna look into that percentage thing a little bit more, and we're gonna figure out, how critical it really is, and is it really 25%, or is it more like 20? Is it more like 15? I'll look into it, but I guess for today we're just gonna get gas and not worry about it. That's gonna be my thing, my decision, my thing. What's my thing about it? How's it my thing? Well, it's my decision. I'm not sure really what I was going to talk about, so fly out now. I guess I've just been thinking more about the refinement thing and how people always told me that, oh, you bounce around too much. Oh, this, that. I'm just owning my thing. I think I'm supposed to be I'm supposed to be a bouncer. It's what I'm good at, and owning that. And I think that in this day and age, it's like a perfect fit. I just have to wait until the general populace further develops ADHD. And once they do, I'm going to be on top. Absolutely. Because that's the future. ADHD is the future. Okay? I'm saying it here. June 3rd, 2025. ADHD is the future. And so I believe the speaking pattern like mine will prevail. I think it just will. Because at some point, people are going to be looking for this type of stimulation. I think my current goals are working on refining my talking speed, being able to talk faster, because that is very impressive and very important in the modern age. I think actually It's very. Oh no, you know what? We did have a conversation about this before, but I played both sides. I didn't make a definitive decision, but I think now I do want to make a definitive decision. Essentially, I made the argument that talking slowly is better because if somebody did want to speed it up, you can just do the multiplication to 1.25 or 1.5, or even if you're really crazy, you can do 2. I mean, I don't know who would be doing that. I'm going to be honest. I don't ever do any speed multiplication. I just think it's strange. I don't know. I just don't do that. I don't think like that. I'm chill. I just keep it at 1 times and it's fine. I don't know. I know that's like a thing people do, but I can't believe people actually do that. To me, that's just, it's not even about like capability. I mean, it's possible I could do it, but it's just not, I don't know. I just feel like it changes the vibe. It's maybe a little bit more stressful. It's a little bit crazier. I'm not really too interested in that. So, anyways, back to the point. We're talking about the speed in which I should be talking. And before I had made this assertion that talking normal is ideal. However, I'm starting to question that now. I think I should push for more faster talking. As again, it's a bit more modern, it's a bit more impressive. I think it just kind of comes across to people as better. But I think what's most important is figuring out that refinement point between talking fast but still being able to have like a good tone. And what I guess tone is not the complete descriptor, but the way I noticed this is on my recent album, my first track, I really just wanted to try something new. It's still rough, it's still unpolished, but I wanted to actually have some type of a verse that I freestyled a bunch of times to get it down, but I wanted to have some kind of written lyrics, right? So like I just freestyled, I typed what I freestyled. You know, I kind of just did that again. I wasn't writing lyrics, but I was putting in a little more effort than usual. And I really wanted to rap really fast. I wanted the first track on the album to just be super fast. I wanted to see what my potential was for speed. I was just curious to see what I was capable of. Now, the end product, to me, it doesn't sound perfect. I definitely could have spent another even 20 minutes to an hour perfecting it, getting the verse down better, doing better takes. So it would be interesting if someday I ended up doing that and actually making music properly. I think it would be pretty interesting, honestly. And someday I might do that, but at the time I was really just trying to push an album out because I had these car ride VCs coming out and I just wanted some new music out in conjunction to kind of mark this era a little bit. Now, I know I need to get a proper album out, but again, it's different. Now that I have a job, I don't work a lot of hours, but I work more hours than most people. And now that I have a job, I don't really have time to be making music. I mean, the music thing is pretty time consuming for me, and it's also, again, it's not as easy. Like the car rides with Schla is easy. This is not a lot of effort for me to do. Talking is just, it's my thing. I slip right into it, but music can be fatiguing. Music is tiring. It's my thing, but it's also, I think other people, my thing is talking. I think my thing is the voice. And I do like making music. I still always will, but I just think in terms of what is the thing that comes like most natural to me, it's this. Now that the side tangent's over, let's get back to what I was actually talking about, which is talking speed. And what we were talking about with talking speed is... Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought, but kind of a shame. Losing train of thought. Talking speed, right. Track 1 on my album, I just wanted to rap as fast as possible. But that's not really something I've never practiced doing that, really. I mean, you could dig through my catalog and maybe find instances where I rapped fast, but I'm not really, that's just not really me. Like, I always say, this is usually what I say, I can talk fast, I can put words together very quickly. I'm probably one of the faster talkers, period. I don't think that many people can talk as fast as I do. But it's not something that comes to me like that easily, like that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't know if you heard that, but I just took a turn kind of rough because it's a dicey... Anyways, you probably, like the last TLDR with Schla, I think was an example of that. Like off the cuff, I was able to talk super fast and I just locked in at the end and everything worked out. And I think it's pretty impressive, personally. I think it's faster than what most people can talk. What most people can talk is that it's faster than most people can talk. So I have that potential, but that's not really what I'm drawn to. Like me as a person, I actually like talking slow. Like I think talking slow is kind of a bit more artistically inclined because you have a lot more ability to focus on what you're saying and even add certain, like, I don't know, tone and just the way you're saying things. Like it's so much, even though it's not as stimulating. So yeah, to me, I like talking slow. I really don't think talking fast makes it's just more shallow to me. I don't know. I guess it's more impressive because it's a skill and I do have it, but I'm saying, like, I like to be laid back, you know? I'm not trying to, like, break my neck every time I'm speaking. I'd rather put that effort into the way I'm speaking, the way I'm saying the words I'm saying. I think the quality is a little more important than the delivery. Well, no, the delivery, I don't know why I worded it like that. The delivery is more important than the speed. And what I'm getting at, because I'll finally get to it about 5 minutes, at least 5 minutes after I brought it up, is I tried a little bit with the delivery, but it's really hard to have, like, delivery and speed. Speed kind of makes it so that you can't really focus too much on the delivery. And then vice versa, if you're focusing on delivery, it makes it difficult to be faster. So these are some things to keep in mind. Now, that being said, what my culmination was going to be is, what if it was possible to have the perfect delivery and speed? That's the ratio I think I want to push. Whereas I do want to be able to talk relatively fast, but I don't want the speed to get to the point where my delivery begins to be off. Because then I think that's just sabotaging the whole thing. I mean, what's the point of that? You know? And that's kind of how I feel like about that first track. Like, it sounds cool, it sounds impressive, but I feel that my delivery is off and it could have been better. That's what I think. Now, again, is that the only factor with that track? Of course not. The other factor is that I was reading lyrics and they were whipped up pretty quick, and I didn't really rehearse it that much. I probably only spent 15, 20 minutes going over it, and I just took the first single take that was all good. Because originally I was going to do the segment thing, but that sounded horrible. And I thought that really, like, takes away from the talent. I was going to do, like, a sentence recorded, a sentence recorded, a sentence recorded. So I could just do each verse at once, and then obviously it would get done way faster. But I just didn't like that. You know, I wanted to have the whole 1 minute thing done and making sense, right? That's just kind of what I felt called to do. I thought, you know, if people heard that, that would be more impressive than just like doing that whole like clip after clip, even though the clip after clip is a lot faster. It is a lot faster. And I wonder, you know, maybe if I could figure out how to make that sound good, that would make more sense, due to I'd be able to make more quality music. Not entirely sure about that, but who knows? Maybe at some point I should try to master it. But yeah, I think that's important. I think delivery is more important than speed, even though speed sounds very impressive. And I think it's good to focus on speed because of just modern people being more drawn to speed, or speed is more like interesting to people, etc., etc. I think it's important, but again, I still kind of agree with the theory that if you need to slow a video down, it really hits the quality, but speeding a video up it sounds fine. It usually like doesn't really, but yeah, slowing it down sounds horrible. So I'm not talking about the way it sounds as in like that it's slower. It's just the quality tanks. I'm sure there's a better explanation that I can't give, but yeah, like essentially when you speed up audio, it usually doesn't hurt the quality as much as slowing it down. So, but yeah, I guess I went to bed last night feeling fairly optimistic about things, and then when I woke up, I like wasn't. I'm not entirely sure why that was the case, but I had some odd dreams, or well, I mean, I don't know about dreams plural, but I can't really remember them. But the one dream, it was very strange. It was like I was with these people who were almost holding me captive. And I was trying to leave them and escape. And my way of escaping was just leaving and wandering, which was weird because my family was around too. And I wanted to like go with my family to escape these two people who were holding me hostage, essentially. And my way of doing that, and I was like weak and I was tired because I had been held captive for so long. And I wanted to leave these people, but they weren't letting me. But again, the strange thing is what was being done. What was being done to... I'm trying to think. Sorry. There's like merging going on. Like my parents were there, so I could have just went to my parents, but instead I just walked out in it, just like, you know, in the middle of nowhere. Right? And I just feel like that is a little bit odd. Because obviously, I guess the hope was that if I just walked out randomly, that the police would have found me. But it doesn't really make sense because obviously that also put like a pretty big risk that the people who were holding me hostage would have kept me. So I don't know why I made that decision, because I was just wandering around my neighborhood hoping that somebody would find me. But again, nobody did. And the dream ended. I don't know what the ending is. Sorry, guys. I don't know what happened, but I feel like there's got to be something symbolic to that, perhaps. Maybe something I'm going through is making me feel that way. But I think it's also interesting, like, the way with which I responded to it is obviously relevant, because that could also be symbolic. I'm not really sure. Not really time to think about it too much now as we're driving, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But I went to bed feeling fairly optimistic, pretty excited, and then this morning, like, I wake up and then it's kind of like, all right, Schla, like, you know, you're still in the 9 to 5, you know. We need to break out, though. I'm being slung through the mud. I'm being slung through the mud, and you guys are the key to my escaping the mud and getting onto regular soil. Dry, green pastures is where I'm trying to be at. But right now, I'm slung in the mud, so... Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's all good either way, right? Because like I said, I need time to cultivate, but it obviously would be cooler if I was just making more money now. But, you know, that it's probably the same thing, right? I mean, I have to go through what I'm going through. It would not be a very interesting tale if I made it very quickly. I just don't think it would be. And I think that it's going to be like another character-defining thing, that I'm going through what I'm going through, because the content would be completely different, I'm sure. Right? I don't even think I thought about this before. I think part of the intention is that I'm sure that the content would be different if I already was famous now. So God is holding out a little bit because he wants me to find my groove first. He wants me to discover me before the fame hits, so that I have some kind of reference material and I know myself before the fame. I really do think that, like, it's all going to be part of the process. I also think just my personality and character development would be completely different if I was just handed it right now. It would be totally different. So that has to be part of the process. Now, I guess I shouldn't really be too confident with that because, well, if I'm too confident, then that kind of defeats the purpose, right? Because then basically, well, I'm basically already famous. I don't have to really try. Well, the whole point is like a lack of trying, right? That's been the whole thing people have told me, is like, you need to try more, like your stuff's good, but you have to edit, you have to do this, you have to do that. No, we're embracing what I'm doing, and we're just doing what I'm doing now. We're on Schla's rules now. I guess I'm contemplating whether to make it a 2-parter, because that whole thing with like the gas station and stuff, I guess I could just keep talking to y'all, but they play ads at that gas station, and I don't want that. Well, I guess I'm thinking about copyright, but honestly, I don't know why they would do that. Like, why would they? Why would they have copyright for that kind of stuff? It's a little bit, because I'm literally advertising the product or whatever. I think I'm just overthinking it, right? Because I don't know. Again, like, why would a company care if I had their advertisement of all things in my video? A little strange, but I don't know. I always think about everything, I suppose. But what I was considering is whether to make it a 2-parter or not, because it kind of bolsters the content a little bit, but I don't know that I'm going to do that. I think I will attempt to just keep recording. And actually, because I believe the last time I got gas, I didn't have the mic yet. So now that I have the mic, I think I could just take the mic with me, right? And just keep talking. Unless it's crowded. If there's like people around me, that's kind of awkward, obviously. So we'll see how it goes. Because I don't want to have to take this thing off. It's actually like a lot of work taking the headset on and off. So I'm not really in the mood for that. So I'm trying to think of what I would do. But I think we're going to just try to leave it on and keep recording. while I'm getting gas. That's what I think the culminating proposal is. Because we could cut it short, but then I'm going to be bored. Because if I cut the episode short, I'm just going to have nothing to do for the remainder of the ride to work, which is not... That's just no good, right? Nobody wants to be bored. Nobody ever wants that, right? I don't know how good time we're making, because this way to get to the gas station is a little bit different, and so I'm not super aware of the timing. But it's not looking great. That's what I will say. It's not looking great. I don't know that we're going to make like fantastic time, but of course it's better than the disaster that was yesterday. But we will be at the gas station, well, fairly soon, I guess. I'm not really sure. Not really sure how soon is soon necessarily, but Yep. No, but I'm serious. I would get too bored. I already said that. The car VC has become such a part of my life. I still call it car VC. It is not a It is not a VC, but I'm still calling it that. It has become such a part of my life at this point. I don't know how I could just not do it. Because I always think like, oh, I'll just not do it. But the whole point is I still end up talking. I still always just end up talking. It's just how it is, I'm never going to like not... Because then I'm here and it's almost like I have to put work in to keep my mouth shut. Because I'm so used to what I'm doing, I have to try to keep it shut. As opposed to, most people might have to try to make a video. No, like I have to try to keep my mouth shut. And so when the camera's not rolling, it's just like a hit. It's like a total hit, really. I wonder if I can open my gas store while driving. That's kind of like interesting. I know you guys are thinking now, like, what? Why would you do that? Well, I just think it would like look cool. Especially if you could open it and then relock it just like while driving and somebody sees that. I don't think you can do that in like regular cars, but I wonder if any luxury cars, I wonder if they do that kind of stuff where there's like a button where you can just like open the gas store and then close it. I guess I don't know why you would need that though, so they probably don't either, because I was thinking for self-serve, if you're like, some rich guy, you're like, you don't want to have to even step out of your car. But the thing is, if a guy was doing it self-serve, you still wouldn't need an automatic gas store shut. You still wouldn't need it because the guy is obviously there and he's going to be able to shut it. So that is a little bit silly. It's looking good at the gas station, not crowded, at least from this vantage point. There is somebody like around though, but I think we should just keep the thing rolling because we're here and that's what it's about. I can't imagine that. I mean, I guess it'll be a good test to see if the ad comes up or not, because I actually don't really know. I don't really know how well the advertisement is going to come up on the thing, because I haven't done this before, so I guess it will be interesting to see how it comes up. Anyways, we are here, and there will be people nearby, so I'm not sure if I'm going to do this now or not. Now I'm getting wary, but I think we're going to try to hold it out. Because, again, I have nothing better to do, really. And I don't know if I'm getting... All right, we gotta get to work. We got places to be. I'm not going to... Alright guys, sorry. I had a rush of anxiety and ended up not doing what I wanted to do because then there was a lot of people around. Sorry I led you on for nothing, but that's life, isn't it? Isn't that all life is? Isn't that all life is, guys? Leading people on for nothing. Basically. It's basically all life is. I'm not really making great time. I'm not really making great time because actually I'm not really sure. How long does it take to get through here? No, I'm not making great time. It's because there was a lot of extra time lost because I was pretty frazzled because, again, like, I had decided, okay, I'm going to keep recording while I'm getting gas. There's nobody around. And then there was all of a sudden tons of people around. And so I had that. I just couldn't handle it. That would be crazy, though. I mean, I should kind of figure that out if I'm supposed to do that. If I'm supposed to push through I need to be able to do that with what I'm doing. Like, absolutely. I think it's vital. Just because of the nature of my content. I mean, there's so much kind of content that I could do that I'm not able to because of the social anxiety, and I need to get over that. I'm sure you guys are probably like, Shla, why do you even get shy? I don't know, I've always been shy. Well, no, I actually haven't always been shy. When I was a child, I wasn't. I feel like that's a pretty common take, though. I think a lot of people, when they're children, they aren't really shy. And then as they get older, then that's when you start to, yeah. So I don't know how special I am for that. But not that I was trying to be special. I'm just assuming. See, I'm like assuming I'm going to get judged for saying things. I think that kind of is a bit revealing. I don't know why I do that. I don't know. Whoa. That person really was pushing it. I just cannot believe that. I mean, we had like okay light luck, but I think that's about to end pretty quickly. Yeah. Look at that. The person who whipped around me didn't even win. They didn't win. They still got stopped at the light. Are we surprised? I think this person's cutting the intersection too. No, maybe they're actually, no. I'm not sure what they're doing. I thought they were actually cutting the intersection, but I don't think they are. I think they're actually going there. That is very nice. I actually haven't been, I think the past couple times I've came through this intersection, I've been lucky. So it's kind of odd not being lucky. But it is what it is. Yeah, that person is really speeding. That person, they just really like, the person that, they really cut around me like very riskily. They're like well, they're not like a school bus. They were one of those like school van thingies. But I don't know. I guess they're just rushing to get kids to school in an unsafe way. Because that's what it's come to, right? No, it's just funny. I mean, I get it, but at the same time, you think it's supposed to be like somebody driving kids to school. Like, it shouldn't be like that. I don't know. But yeah, no, I should really get over that, talking around other people, but I just can't. I don't like my voice being heard, so, well, see, that's a problem. That is definitely a problem. I think I need to speak about things and like have people like be okay with eavesdropping. I think that's super important. I think that would be like a very big developing thing for me. I'm glad I'm getting all this recorded because, I mean, to you guys, it doesn't really matter. But to me, there's certain thoughts and things that I'm like, I'm saying them and I'm thinking them and I'm like, wow, I hope I remember that. I hope that, right? And the thing is, I will because they're recorded. So it's definitely, this is just my thing. I'm not a journaler, but I definitely, like, I'm not a writer, but I'm a speaker, absolutely. And recording these little things are good. Absolutely, I think they are good. So it is very nice, very nice. We are going to get there sort of soon, but again, we're not really making great time. That's 2 days in a row. Although yesterday was unavoidable, but... And then today, so usually when I am getting gas, I would want to make an extra effort to get into my car faster than I usually would. But obviously today I wasn't aware of that, although we did hit light luck. So we got a lucky green, so we may be on track. I think we may be like okay. Interestingly enough. We'll have to see though, because I know my password may be changed for the Wi-Fi, and that might hit me in the morning, and then I'd be like totally out of luck. I'd have to like rush. Oh no. It would not be a good situation. It would not. It just would not. It'd be a crazy sitch. I hope that doesn't happen. Now, this light I could get stopped at too because it's... Should I have like an apparatus where... I mean, that would be a little risky, but... Like, I could have like a camera showing my face and showing the road and kind of giving y'all like a very... I don't know, just like a real gateway into my life, you know, a real, yeah. And by gateway, I mean, yeah, you could just come right in, essentially. You could just come right into my life. Dude, yeah, thank you. Oh my gosh, stress. And I'm not ready. And it's time to stop the episode. We don't even have time for a TLDR. Oh my gosh. I mean, well, actually... I guess I can keep recording. I should have ended the episode by now, though. I usually don't still have it recording, I guess. I wasn't really thinking about it, and I'm not even ready to, like, clock in and stuff. That is very strange. All right, I think the Wi-Fi is working, though. So, TLDR Witch Law, today... We basically almost forgot to do the TLDR Witch Law, which that would not be good, right? And and all that time, it wasted it because I got in a minute late. I could have clocked in a minute. All right, sorry. Redo the TLDR Witch Law. TLDR Witch Law. Today we talked about how I'm feeling about things and how I need to own my own voice as opposed to giving in to what others criticize me for. But that wasn't what we talked about first. I don't really remember what we talked about first. So, sorry, I guess this is going to be a failed TLDR Witch Law. Well, you can't win them all, can you? All right, guys. Bye.